Hi there, this is Veronica. I'm so happy to be with you today. Today I'm going to be filming a podcast, answering questions submitted by you, the listener. Maybe your question is going to be answered today. Now, mind you, these questions are random. I did promise to answer every single question that was submitted to me. So the topics might be a little unusual or even taboo at times. But the promise of this was to offer free advice to anyone who needed it, and I am definitely here to help and not judge any of your questions, but rather just offer the best support that I possibly can. Now, if you would like your question answered for free, that's really easy. Go to anchor.fm/VeronicaIsles, download the Anchor app, submit me a voice note, and I will add it to the queue. I'm happy to answer all questions submitted in the order that they were received. And like I said, I don't judge or omit any, unless of course I can't hear it, so do make sure to speak clearly. Okay, if you would like to learn more about me, VeronicaIsles.com. I also have a YouTube channel, which you may actually be listening to this podcast on. But I do post all of my podcasts first on Anchor. So do head there for all of the latest and the greatest. Okay, so let's get to it. Question number 1.
Hi Veronica, I noticed that my specific person started dressing a certain way that I never told the universe about. I've only told a couple of my close friends about. And I was wondering if this is a sign that the universe is morphing him into the person that I would ideally want to be with. As well as today, one of the third parties that I created unfollowed me on Instagram. Is this a sign that they may no longer be talking? Thank you. Hi Veronica, last night I sent you a voice message about my specific person and how I believe that one of the third parties is gone. After sending that message, I went out and I think I received more signs from the universe. I saw that specific person that followed me on Instagram was staring at me the whole time I was at this basketball game. And she was treating me in a way when you see someone you don't want to see or that you have a past with. She was giving me one of those looks. As well as last night, my specific person was hanging out with some of his friends. And last night, his friend texted me out of the blue. I haven't talked to him in months. A random picture of my specific person. Is this a sign and possibly the start of the bridge of incidents before the end? Thank you.
Okay, so there were a lot of questions contained in those 2 voice notes, which I played both for reference. Okay, so first of all, I think that you're always expressing things to the universe, even if you don't directly address, quote unquote, the universe. You need to start thinking about the universe as a part of you, the highest creative part of you. So if you expressed something to your friends, then you actually expressed it to the universe as well, because it is you, it's not an outside entity. So it's really important in order to get better results, you want to start thinking in those terms and trying to clarify these things, because it'll help you manifest better. Now, I do think the fact that your specific person started dressing in a certain way that you ideally want, that is a great thing. And I do think that you attracted that. Now, I don't think that the universe is morphing him. I think that he's just being drawn to dressing that way because it's something that you imagined. So whenever a person starts relating to you in a new way, especially in a preferred way, it's not that you have sort of overridden their free will or you're sort of controlling them to act in a new way. But rather, I'm sure he felt very compelled to dress in this way, and it just happened to align with the very thing that you were hoping for. So it came from him and it came from you. So it was co-created in this way. I think that, of course, signs are interpretive. So in terms of one of the third parties and following you on Instagram, you can take that in all different ways. I mean, I would take that as a win. Of course, it doesn't matter if they're still talking or not. The third party doesn't have to present a problem to you. So it's time to give, your potential obstacles less energy, such as these quote unquote third parties, and just sort of letting them be. Focus on you and your specific person instead. Who cares if they're talking? That doesn't matter. You just want to be talking with your specific person. Now, again, I can't really say why this person ended up staring at you or giving you looks at the basketball game. I think, again, signs are interpretive. Do you think that this is getting you closer? Do you feel closer? Do you feel like things are starting to work in your favor? I mean, the second you set an intention and you send it pure love, pure focus, pure energy, like the world around you is going to start conforming to this new idea. So I think that the bridge of incidence is actually always happening. It is something that is always happening with whatever you are aligned with. The world is responding to what you are aligned with. So if you want to be with this specific person, I would just align with this idea of you and him dressing in whatever way you prefer, treating you in the highest and best way. And I would just leave it at that. And I would really just do your own thing. And I wouldn't really focus on these other people so much, such as potential third parties or even his friends. I would just let your specific person come to you. Okay, so let's get to question number 2.
Hi Veronica, so you may know me because I commented a lot of your YouTube videos and you replied. Oh my god. I have a question about getting someone off a pedestal, but in a quite uncommon way. I have a group of friends that I often hang out with, but I feel like our relationship got destroyed recently. There's one girl in the squad, let's call her Agnes. She's actually really cute. She's my friend and a nice person, but she acts not so good when we're in this group of people. All attention is always on her, and boys from our group just care about her so much, like she's the only one to care about, and they don't pay attention to other female girls hanging out with them, if that makes sense. It's always only about her. And then they just say constantly how cute and adorable she is. And in this group we're just so sick of this behavior. Like, damn, they should get a room or something, because they're just she's flirting with 2 boys at one time, and we're together in a group of friends just hanging out, and that's weird. And yeah, always all the attention is on her, as she was the only valuable person, and that's just not nice. And our group relationship got so much worse, and I just want to find a way to end this.
To start, I'm so glad that I've responded to a lot of your comments before. That's wonderful. So I'm glad to help you out personally with how to resolve this situation in your group of friends. I do think that you can attract harmony by sort of rediscovering how you think that this girl Agnes, is going to act, is going to be. We need to stop seeing her as an attention getter and someone who is ruining things. We need to start seeing her as someone who can fit in with the rest of the group and not cause problems, because right now it's as if she's getting a lot of frustration, a lot of sort of negative. She's pulling up all of these negative feelings in not only you but everyone else. And I'm sure that you've talked to everyone else about this. Everyone can feel sort of how she's been spoiling things. But we want to rewrite this. We want to rescript this. Now, it doesn't matter whether or not the people in your group know about the law of attraction or not. That really is beside the point. What I would do is I would be the leader in terms of any sort of conversation regarding Agnes. So you are going to start not seeing her as a problem, not seeing the things that have happened as a problem. You're going to start seeing her as sort of owning up to things, as if she doesn't want to be an attention getter who's spoiling the entire group. She wants to make things right. So we are going to see, first of all, Agnes in a new way, in a better way. Maybe she did these things naively, and now it's dawning upon her that she can't act this way, that she can't ruin the dynamic in the group, because she isn't the only valuable person. You all are valuable. And I do think that you can start to imagine harmony, how you want the group to act and to be. You can stop giving so much negative frustration to the things that she has done and start seeing her as coming around, acting in new and better ways, just being normal like everyone else instead of sort of being the center of attention who is unbalancing things. So I want to imagine her as having an awakening, as having this moment of clarity where she wants to make things right, where she wants to fix things, instead of her as this oblivious person that's spoiling everything and you're sort of helpless. You want to see yourself as being in control, and when you talk to other people about her, I want you to say these things like you see the best in her. You see her as coming around, because it sounds like she wasn't always like this. So maybe you can imagine a time where the group dynamic was better, it was more harmonious. So I want you to be really aware of doing this within your own heart and mind, with the physical words that you tell other people. And you're also going to imagine the other people around you being in sync with this idea of, instead of things getting ruined, things getting destroyed, frustration, instead you're focused on something else. You're focused on things that are good, being happy, hanging out, spending time with one another. Okay, so I hope that this could help. Let's get to question number 3.
Hi Veronica. I met somebody on Tinder. We met once but never happened again. It's been 6 months. A few random messages here and there when I initiate, but I want this guy to be madly in love with me and ask me to be his girlfriend. I hope you answer my question. Thank you.
Okay, so I do think that you can improve an already existing connection, like someone you met on Tinder, someone that you only met once. I think that the ability to attract someone like this is just as strong as someone maybe that you had had an existing relationship with before. The fact that you never had an established relationship doesn't mean you can't attract this person back. Now, I would definitely start by not initiating anything. Because right now you are initiating messages and it's basically going nowhere. So it's almost like you're investing in the situation, but he isn't. Now, if you want him to be madly in love with you, you need to be the person who possesses that, the person who is that. You can't just merely desire it or want it. You have to actually become it. So really think to yourself, what would it be like if I had the person of my dreams be madly in love with me and be begging me to be his girlfriend? What would that feel like? How would I carry myself throughout the day? How would I interact with other people, with my job or my schooling? What would I do? How would I feel towards the other aspects of my life? So you become this thing, you become this person who is in this committed relationship instead of this person who is like grasping on to have someone else love them. We don't want you to be grasping on for dear life anymore with this situation. We want him to initiate everything with you, and for you to be in a position where you're the one who's powerful. You are the one who he is seeking instead of you being the one who's seeking him and getting nowhere. So I want you to adjust, first of all, the way you think he thinks about you. Don't base it on the fact that he hasn't been very attentive or he hasn't moved this along. Instead, base it on the way you ultimately want to be seen. If you want him to be madly in love with you, then you want him to be thinking about you constantly. You want him to be dreaming about you. You want his heart to race at the mere idea of you. So you can imagine all of these things. You can add on ones that feel good to you, but I want you to imagine him physically feeling this towards you, as opposed to him being indifferent or careless or potentially pursuing someone else. Now, it is possible to live happily ever after with someone that you met on Tinder. I mean, Tinder exists for a reason. I'm sure there's plenty of success stories of people that, again, have gotten married, have, moved in together, created a life together, and they met on Tinder and met once. Even if it's been 6 months, like that doesn't matter. Things can still move ahead quickly, but I want you to not fixate on this and especially fixate on how to fix it. Just as to how to sort of solve this problem. You want to consider it a done deal. Like he is going to realize that he cannot allow you to slip through his fingers, that you are that special, that wonderful. And you're going to start carrying yourself like this throughout the day. So you're going to be really mindful and really aware of any contrary thoughts, thoughts that put you down or make you feel bad or make you feel incapable of having this kind of relationship. Okay, so thank you to everyone that submitted questions, and thank you to everyone else who listened to this. I hope you could find something beneficial from it. I hope it could inspire you. If you would like to learn more about me or work with me one-on-one, VeronicaIsles.com. I also have self-study courses at VeronicaIsles.teachable.com and a wonderful affirmations app for iPhone, and the download link is in the description box. Okay, have a good day.